Hey guys, it's me. I'm doing my second review. I had thought about it and I decided because I just read it because I had been on a spree. When I tend to like authors, if they come out with a bunch of stuff, sometimes I'll save them and I'll read them in sprees. So my second book is another Jalen book, Jennifer L. Armentrout. That's what she's going. I like calling her Jalen. But this one, Fall With Me. I know the words. I know, but it's Fall With Me, and it's, I want to say, book 4. Yeah, book 4 in the Wait For Me series. This one is with Roxy. She's from book 3, the bartender with the glasses and the crazy shirts, and at Mona's, that's the bar, and the police officer Reese. If you read the third book, this is also, I should say, only if you've been reading. You really need to read them in order because all the characters, some of the situations, some of all the stuff, it comes back. So it's kind of like you'd be like, wait, okay. So read them in order. They're all good, but read them in order. But this one is book 4, and it's Roxy and Reese's story, and mainly it starts off, she's visiting her friend Charlie, who we basically learn is basically almost like a vegetable. He was in some sort of accident that they allude to in the first chapter. I won't go into the spoilers. That's for part 2 for the spoiler people. But all we know is that from also coming in the first is that a man named Henry Williams is responsible and went to jail for it, and now he's out and seeking amends. That's kind of all you really need to know, and that's kind of how it goes. Also, what it is that the tension between Roxy and Reese is, she had liked him for a really, really long time, and and then one night when he came back from the war, he was drunk and had her take him home, and it is the statement that they hooked up, and then afterwards she didn't want to talk to him again. And he said it was a mistake, and she didn't want to talk to him again. So there are a lot of things going on both sides that's causing a lot of crazy hecticness. Unlike, oh no, that's the wrong series. There aren't any like jealous people trying to get in the way, but what we learn as we continue on, and they're kind of working through these, is mysterious things start happening in Roxy's apartment, and creeping her out, freaking her out. Then they find out that there's this she thinks that the person responsible for it is Henry, because he was trying a couple times to get a hold of her because he wants to make amends to her, and he wants to make amends to, her friend Charlie, who's basically, he's awake, but he's basically, like one of those people, lose it all, and they're kind of just sitting there staring into space. So she thinks it's him. They think it's someone else. But either way, a lot of stuff is going down, and it's kind of making it a scary situation for her. We find out that Reese and Roxy, since they both grew up, that their parents are good friends, and kind of have this dream in their head of the two of them getting married and having lots of babies. So it's kind of on that end. I would give this book a 3.5. Like I've said in my last, and you'll probably see in other ones, Jalen always gets at least 2 stars for me, just for the stuff she produces. This one was better. This one had a lot of twists and turns, but considering the stuff kind of gone through in the first and second book, it's not up to that level of par. I'm a harsh grader, though. It's a lot to get a lot of stuff from me, but yeah, no, I'd say a 3.5. If you're one of those people who want to be more generous, go ahead. I wouldn't disagree with you, but where I'm sitting, it's at a 3.5. But absolutely did like this book. Probably would reread it again. Just because, twists and turns. However, there were a few things that, when they came by, you're like, oh, okay. Like it wasn't like a stumper, okay? When things are happening and certain things, and certain things, you're like, okay, you can kind of see it coming. If you can, I'd be really surprised. But other than that, yeah, good book. Did like it. Would recommend it. And if you are reading the Wait For You series, which obviously, was the first book that started out with the character Avery, I would read all the books. Really loved all the books. But this one was a good one. I did like this one. So I will say, yeah, like I said, 3.5 stars. It was good. Has a happily ever after. Of course, most books now do. It's not very long. Oh, I'm sorry. Everybody knows. I read it on my Nook. Okay, 271 is the amount of pages listed. Like I said, obviously in all these, it's not fully 271 worth of reading because, at the end, then they'll have teasers for another book or, little side glimpse chapters in previous books, so that you can kind of buy other things. But like I said, it wasn't a long read, but I did like it. It was nice, and I love her work. Once again, as we know, steamy scenes are always good. She does good steamy scenes, I like certain, depending on the books I read, I like certain particular steamy scenes. So for her writing, this was good. But yeah, I mean, like I say, 3.5 stars, decent read. Had a lot of few things to keep you guessing. Some of them you saw coming, but it was still the material handled. You were kind of like, whoa, okay. So yeah, that's it for you guys. If you want more in depth and included with spoilers, that is part 2. I'll see you then. The Maddening Mind of Haley B.